Modern Warfare 3 was the first Call of Duty game I played after beating Black Ops 2 as a kid. However, having access to military shooters at the ripe age of 11 meant that I could not understand the grim inner workings of the campaign. So surely 12 years later, I should have a grasp on what's going on. So we're hunting down the terrorist Vladimir Makarov, who's triggering Look, basically that Russian fella from Modern Warfare 2 who nerfed or nothinged a bunch of airport goers is trying to blow up America. So today I'm going to run through the campaign missions, discussing my favorite parts while quickly comparing the gunplay to the previous game. We start by choosing veteran difficulty because I like to test the tensile strength of bricks with my forehead, in turn beginning the campaign. First up, we're shown a teaser of the current situation $ and Sydney Sweeney Soap are in, which turns out isn't great. They're being hunted by Macaroni's forces and Soap is not doing well after Shepard performed an unorthodox abdomen surgery in the last game. However, we'll get back to these two a bit later on. The first actual mission starts with a failed drifting session by Sandman, forcing us to exit our vehicle and continue on foot. You play a new protagonist called Frost, who is basically just a generic American soldier. There's not much to discuss here. As a kid, this part of the campaign was always my favorite, and upon replaying it, it still is. Similar to Modern Warfare 2, this introduction really sets the tone for the rest of the game. However, unlike any of the games we've played so far, there is no training grounds, which is some bullshit. You know, I preferred that little ego boost I got whenever I aced the course, and then it insisted I play in veteran. We pushed through some war-torn streets in New York City. Jesus. Fighting towards a big microwave with jam or something. During this mission, I actually discovered my favorite new type of weapon, the 9-bangers. There's something extremely satisfying about the way the flashes go off in unison. I was basically burning through any flashbangs I could get my hands on. You make it to this rooftop and put some eggs in the microwave, which starts a helicopter sequence. Surprisingly, it seems like they finally balanced the rail sequences on veteran because I didn't die a million times. This bit was just as good as I remember. The idea to fight between a half-constructed building was genius because I both got to prove my aim is amazing and destroy local properties. Eventually, we escape without crashing the helicopter, which might be a COD first, honestly, leading into the next mission. You start by traversing a flooded underground highway. Of course, I was devastated seeing all of this destruction.
Let's just BAM! Oh, no. Didn't do anything.
You then make your way to a submarine, narrowly avoiding a haircut and surfacing the bastard. It's our job to infiltrate the sub and turn their missiles against the neighboring Russian submersibles. I also got to finally use my favorite SMG, the Penis Bison.
The Bison, finally!
I then saw the narrow corridors as an opportunity to abuse some more 9-bangers.
Oh, 9-banger then. How about an 18-banger? Oh, what about 27-banger?
We launched the missiles and then skedaddle via inflatable boat. They clearly decided that there wasn't enough set pieces in the last game and just dialed everything to 12. This ends the mission, and finally, we get to see what the old fart and his hygienic routine are doing. Turns out, Soap is dirty and Price is broke, so we need reinforcements, aka Yuri, our new 1-for-1 protagonist. He's this mysterious Russian who hates mac and cheese, so already he's more interesting than the last playable character. This mission is not boring, just not very interesting. You fight your way through the streets, eventually getting to use the conveniently placed mini-tank. On veteran, this bit kind of fucking pissed me off because there's little room for error, so I didn't get to properly enjoy this section. However, difficulties aside, it's still a bit uneventful. It kind of feels like they just wanted another action sequence that didn't involve too many obstacles development-wise. I mean, you're basically just a walking minigun that has infinite ammo. It was fine, just it wasn't my favorite bit. We finally beat the damn level and have to run through it all again, but as Yuri, failing to reach the helicopter in time. Once again, we get another knocked unconscious but somehow we're still okay portion, which seems pointless because he's immediately found and nothing comes of it, so moving on. The next mission is a certified slapper. You become another protagonist who is just some bodyguard for the Russian president, and we all know if the protagonist is a one-off, they're probably going to kick the bucket. We're on a plane which is hijacked by McDonald's forces, resulting in my favorite fight in the game. Eventually, the plane crashes in the sexiest way possible, causing yet again another knocked unconscious but somehow we're still okay portion. You make your way through snowy terrain, killing a few more of Madagascar's soldiers, eventually saving the president and his daughter. Okay, let's get on this definitely safe helicopter and just get at it.
Oh.
I'm getting a few flashbacks here. Next up is the repeat of the mission all gillied up that they have to do in each Modern Warfare game. We're basically sneaking around the whole mission. Yeah, this mission's fine. You're trying to find Mackenzie's hideout, but it's only the 5th mission. Clearly, we're not going to find him. I did like this portion where you get to use a rusty minigun. I don't know why, the rustic look just made it feel so chunky and satisfying. There's also a brief portion where you get to use a mortar. Moving on, obviously we didn't find anything, so we basically achieved nothing this whole mission. Now, taking a detour from the norm, we're actually playing an SAS member, Burns. I wonder how this will go. This mission is just batshit crazy.
Let's do this.
First of all, it was just a pain in the ass on veteran, so that already pissed me off.
What?
But on top of that, we also have this bonkers train sequence. I mean, what the fuck is going on here? Don't get me wrong, it was cool as hell, but Jesus Christ. Eventually, our vehicle crashes and you're not gonna believe what happened. Yet another knocked unconscious, but somehow we're still okay portion. 3 missions in a row? Good Lord, man. Finally, we get out of the sewers and track down a Russian convoy. So, okay. I'll give Infinity Ward credit where credit's due. They don't play around when it comes to killing innocent people. We get to see this lovely family from a camcorder as their kid jumps around the Russian convoy they missed. Damn. That kid just got minced in 480p. So now we really hate Martin. Not because he killed the kid, but because he blew up about 30 pigeons surrounding the kid. Thus, beginning Act 2. I'm gonna go over this act a lot quicker because it's definitely the least interesting, so let's get this. The first mission makes us American again. God bless America. And we have to shoot Russian forces in Paris, France. This mission is fine. You get to sit in a tank gunner seat for 2 seconds before almost biting the bullet, proceeding to save some high-value person of interest. Moving on, we're Yuri again, and we have to shoot more soldiers while hunting down a high-value target. Hey, this sounds familiar. We eventually find the guy, get the info we need, and get a deadline to escape before the massive sandstorm hits the town. Or, in my case, get stuck in a loop of instant death because the game auto-saved you there.
Dude, maybe... Oh... Oh! Oh! My God, we did it.
After that bullshit, you're awaiting Nikolai to save our ass once again. However, for the first time ever, he takes an L and crashes into a sandstorm. So now we have to save him. It's okay though, because he's earned it. So you navigate this mess, save the goat, and escape by some grounded vehicles. Next mission. So now we're American again. God bless America. And we have to shoot Russian forces in Paris, France, while trying to find a hover. Hey, what the fuck is going on here? Didn't we just do this in the last 2 missions? Okay, so once again, we find a high-value target, this fucking named Volk, stupid-ass name, who happens to be hiding in these terrifying catacombs under the city. Honestly, this bit was actually a cool idea. I like this. You find him, chase him for a bit, and then further capture him. Next mission. We now have to escort Volk out of Paris, France. Hell, and make our way through more streets. Luckily, they implemented a gunning sequence that actually works really creatively, switching between Frost and the gunner pilot throughout the mission. Besides that, the Eiffel Tower is destroyed and we escape with Volkswagen. And that's Act 2. Like I said, my least favorite portion. However, the next few missions do pick up the pace. The mission Eye of the Storm sees us partaking some more sneaky beaky through Prague streets, with the help of some Russian pals, including the mad lad Kamarov from the first game. Shit hits the fan as per usual, and we have to prove why Azio Turtles was renowned for his sniping skills. We eventually reach the rendezvous point and set up base for the next mission. Blood Brothers. If you know what's about to happen, then you know when for a ride. With a sniper set waiting to pop mac and cheese in the noggin, things don't end up working out well. Makarov exposes Yuri's past like an absolute rat just before we have to carry a damaged soap bar through Prague. Man, the amount of times this bastard has been hurt, you'd think he should be dead by now.
Just rest. Get a medic! Come on, stay with me, son. Nice. No. Makarov. Nose. Oh no, 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 no! So! No, no, no! So! You have to go now! Get off me! I'm sorry.
Oh, well, shit. Seriously though, this sequence was heartbreaking, especially because I've just beaten the first 2 games and grown attached to the lovely smelling bastard. So can we get some Fs in the chat for Mr. Soap? As a result, Price has a tantrum and we get this amazing line.
Oh.
Soap trusted you. I thought I could too. So why in bloody hell does Makarov know you?
And then finally, the fucking protagonist talks. I mean, what the hell is this COD? Why is my main character speaking?
Young and patriotic.
It turns out Yuri has been around since Modern Warfare 1, conveniently sitting in the exact car that Zakhaev uses to escape back in Chernobyl. Convenience aside, I really enjoyed this plot twist, which I did remember from my childhood, but it was still just as engaging on this playthrough. So Price only slightly hates us now, and I will say, I hated the feeling that Price didn't see me as his son, but I think that's more to do with my own issues with authoritative figures in my life, so yeah, I'm gonna unbox that later on in my life. Stronghold sees us storming this coolest castle, and Price really doesn't hold back. We blow up some ancient architecture and discover that Makarov is going to try and capture the president's daughter. I also lit up this chicken with a G18 mag by accident.
I'm sorry. Just lit up that chicken for no reason.
A car chase into a parachute sequence later, and now it's the end game. Scorched Earth is the last mission as Frost, and essentially it's just another mission of running through buildings, killing Russians, and eventually failing to save the president's daughter from capture. It's by no means a bad mission, but by this point I think we get the idea, so let's just move on to the interesting stuff. The penultimate mission finally sees both teams working together. Sandman and Price are in the same elevator, and it feels like Infinity War all over again.
Man, look at this crossover.
The banter between the two is just great to see, especially after having just lost Soap.
Once we get boots on the ground, it's gonna get lively down there. Hopefully you can keep up, old man. I know you yanks like to take all the credit, so Yuri and I'll keep the neighbors in check while we roll hard to secure the hostages.
From this point in the game, I had no recollection of what was going on, so all of this was new to me. You make your way into this mine where both the president and his daughter are being held, and after being crushed by a helicopter and dying a million times, it was finally time to take a dub. We saved the daughter, saved the president in the coolest fashion possible. Then it's time to GTFO. For me, this next sequence was devastating. Sandman and the rest of the Delta Squad stay behind as Yuri, the president, and Price are all pulled out by a heli chopper.
Sandman, don't do it. Sandman! No! Dude.
Can we get some Fs in the chat for Delta Squad? I mean, Jesus, this game has just been a train wreck for the good guys. Now it's time. Dust to dust. Finally, we get to play Price, and in turn, we get to see Yuri from the outside. For some reason, I really enjoyed that I could see him with a personality, although I was highly suspicious he was going to die because of this. Yuri and Price are kitted head to toe in Kevlar, armed with some fat LMGs, and of course, the trusty old M4. This mission was honestly amazing. It just felt like the perfect ending to the trilogy for me. Just sending the only two bastards left against Makarov with a bunch of equipment. No war or bigger threat involved, just vengeance. As I suspected, however, I was devastated to see Yuri die via rusty pole. Can we get some Fs in the chat for Yuri? Probably the most interesting protagonist of the franchise besides Soap. We continue chasing Makarov, finally catching him and his helicopter. Frankly, this whole mission is just bullshit. Truly non-fiction at this point. I did love that, however, because it means I get to jump onto a helicopter like Captain America, throw the pilot out, and crash it back into the building. Finally, it's a broke Price versus a cooked mac and cheese. Who's gonna win? Oh, shit. Dude, they're gonna end it like this. Yuri? He's still alive! Never mind. He's no longer alive. Let's get some Fs in the chat for Yuri again. Finally, it's over. Price gets to smoke a fat cigar and he just puffs smoke onto Makarov's hanging corpse. Absolute cinema. So that was the Modern Warfare trilogy. What a 9-banger. This campaign did have its ups and downs, but overall, it was an amazing story. So, let's talk gunplay. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, it felt very similar to Modern Warfare 2. Clearly, there were only minor tweaks from that game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The guns felt great, and honestly, the AK is much better than I remember as a kid. The 9-bangers are peak. Grenades are still grenades. The one gun that stood out to me as being most improved was the M4, especially with that sexy hybrid sight. I just love how chunky it feels. Grenade launchers are back too, although I didn't end up using them that much because you're basically going to get lasered if you try and line up your sight. And then we have penetration. Pause. It's still here and it works a charm. I did use the light machine gun slightly more this time around and they did feel better, although I still preferred to stick to my trusty assault rifles. Besides that, there isn't much to say. If you enjoyed the Modern Warfare 2 guns, then you'll probably enjoy the Modern Warfare 3 guns. Besides that, I also did give Survival a quick go, which was a nice trip down memory lane. I missed this game mode a lot, frankly. It was always fun to play with mates back in the day. I'm kind of fed up with every single COD having zombies. As much as I love that game mode, I wouldn't mind something different. So that was Modern Warfare 3. Did you ever play this game? If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. And of course,